Talk Erie and the Joel Natale Show. We are live from our Kingdom Financial Group studio here at 5th and State. Also live on YouTube and Facebook, having the crucial conversations that Erie needs. And every quarter, at least, we want to check in with the CEO of the Erie Downtown Development Corporation, our landlord and good friend, Drew Whiting. How are you, Drew?
I'm doing well.
I love seeing your crew walking up and down State. And I just got to say, it just feels busier and busier.
We are trying. We've got a lot of really good tenants here, including you guys.
Well, we love being here for sure.
Our team has great energy, and we're trying to build on what we've got here, add new pieces, and draw more people into downtown.
All right, let's celebrate like the big drop in the past month or so, and that's Serafini's Trattoria and down the street here. How are they doing? I mean, they had a huge first weekend. Would love an update there.
They're doing really well. It's anybody who's tried to get a reservation knows that they're doing well because it's hard to find a table on a prime night these days. And they're going to start doing their takeout operation again. It was kind of funny. Like the first week, Amanda and Opie came to us and they're like, look, we've got a 20-gallon steam kettle in here, but like we're running out of sauce every day that we're open. So we got to double that so that we can keep up and not have to be here at 2 a.m. making an extra kettle. And so that we can restart our takeout operation, which is how we found them in the first place and was their first step into remaking the old family recipes and getting them out into the community. So I'm really excited for them. They seem to be enjoying running the restaurant, their professional operation. Early days, there's always things you have to work out, but I haven't seen much of that there.
Yeah.
And I think
what's a 40-gallon look like? Is that a floor model?
Think of most garbage cans are 50 gallons, right?
Right.
So think about the size.
But
of
I mean, that would be its own unit, I would.
It's got its own hood and everything. Yeah,
okay.
So it's a good problem to have,
right?
And it's phenomenal. They got a lunch menu where you can go in and pick 2 items. You get like a half sandwich or a soup or a salad or a small portion of pasta or meatballs. And you can be in and out for a quick lunch in 40 minutes.
Fantastic.
So they're doing that. They've got great dinner service with a full menu now, and they're adding some menu items as they get their feet underneath them. And then the bar that's in that space, which is new, is also great late night after the theater, after the show, or before your other dinner destination to stop and hang out and grab an espresso martini or whatever else they've got on the menu. So yeah, that's been great, and it's driven traffic to a lot of our other establishments, the shops right up and down the row there. Couple Saturdays ago we had the soup stroll, which is the second time that we've done that, and had over 100 participants.
Oh, wow.
And 10 different restaurants made soups, and those were then served within the shops, the different retail shops around downtown. So people going up and down the street and voting on what their favorite was. And Serafini's was a participant there, as well as IPA and many other of restaurants up and down State Street.
Well, did you get to do it? Or
I did, yeah.
What was your
participated
favorite?
with my wife and kids. They were all pretty good, but there was nothing better than what Luminary put together over there with this vodka tomato bisque.
Oh my!
I could drink that out of a coffee cup every morning. It's just so good.
A vodka tomato bisque. Oh my!
I'm a fan of like creamy, saltier soups,
yeah.
and so good.
That sounds amazing.
It was a fun day downtown. A lot of the shops got some nice extra traffic, and those are the kinds of things that we like to keep doing to keep people engaged. And the day after that was Fall Fest, and we had bands that the Downtown Partnership had put together playing on stage all afternoon, trick-or-treating at all the different places down here, and the vendors and the clowns and the bounce houses and everything. It was great to see all the people out trick-or-treating, and it's been a nice family Sunday afternoon, enjoying what it was a nice weather weekend. So yeah, we want to keep that going as we roll into holiday season. We've already got our decor shifted. We're starting to install all of that for November, December as we hit the shopping rush here over the next couple of months and get ready for the Festival of Delights in a few weeks here.
Yeah, wow, it's astounding. We had Amanda on along with the boys from Hazards and Primo, right? We had Lewis on, and
Yep.
It was interesting to see the different stages in business, and what I want to commend you about is how you're sharing the love and the expertise, not only to your tenants, but literally to the whole neighborhood down there.
That's right. Our business support coordinator and that front door program that's run out of Radius has really been a good boost in the last 6 months that we've been operational. The Erie Community Foundation funded the start of that program, and DCED at the state level has stepped up as well. It allows us to meet with downtown businesses, those throughout the community, and make sure that they have the ability to navigate the resource base that we have here in Erie. And if there are gaps, we can try to fill those things. We started out this experiment and our mission as the EDC by buying, renovating, building new buildings, but we need to make sure that the fabric of that neighborhood and that community is built up as well. And part of that's supporting locally owned small businesses. Their latest example was Janessa Norton, who's our business support coordinator, has been working with Anissa Sanchez on Empanadas that just opened up in the old Catfish Kitchen.
Yeah,
space.
yesterday they had their opening, right?
They did, yeah, and that's one example of an effort of our team and our community coming together to really make sure that if we've got one of these prime open spaces, we have a list of people that may want to fill them, and we're ready to put people in spaces when the time comes.
So that old Catfish Kitchen is not one of your properties, but you're helping.
Correct. Yep. Yeah, that's exactly right. Even spoke with the landlord during the process, and he was asking us, like, how do you guys approach lease structures down here in kind of an environment where we're not sure where things are going to go? And, I personally helped out on that piece of it. And that's part of our role down here. It's not just to build buildings, but it's to create a neighborhood, support the community, and make sure that the core of our city and our downtown are strong, so that as we build upon that, we've got a great foundation that we can rely upon.
At what point do you get concerned about oversaturation? Are we near there? Like I'm just going to be clear here. We're about to talk about Dave's. Dave's is going to open soon, but we're also going to get Franco's, Cafe, which is across the street I always call it the Horace Greeley building, and so it's like. And then that has to impact, I would imagine, the tap house or so.
There's definitely a balance that needs to be struck. And as you move along, there's going to be new housing. So you're bringing on not just our 104 apartments, but you're brought on the, going from 20 to 70 at Modern Tool. And now we're about to open 190 plus at the old Avalon in the Bowie apartments. And then you have other people working on places in the West Bayfront. Other businesses moving downtown. We need to make sure we're mindful that as these businesses are coming in, that there is the downtown population to support that.
Right.
So it's never going to be perfect. There's always going to be some lag one way or the other, but we want to make sure that we're creating the amenities that support that new residential base and vice versa. And that's a reason why you don't just build 4 townhomes up by Griswold Park and then build nothing around it. That's the reason why we took on 3 square city blocks and built housing and built those commercial food service and retail spaces at the same time. Because you have to build it all at the same time or it doesn't work.
Wow. Yeah, I would imagine they thought when they built those townhomes, what was it, now 15 years ago maybe? I mean, it's got to be
There was
while.
a larger plan that just did not make it through because of the recession and other factors.
And they also, I'm not sure they picked the right location. I mean, kind of overlooking the Arby's wasn't the best look, as opposed to.
they do have steak nuggets now. So.
Yes, I think they're. Are you like all in on protein? I think that's what that's going for, right?
There's
the protein
there's
thing.
certainly a target market, and I think I'm in the middle of it. I get a lot of flack for that, but that's a guilty pleasure. It's
right.
fine.
He goes up to the food service at 5 Iron. Just give me protein.
Yeah,
that's all I want.
You guys heard about the steak nugget trend? Somebody in their marketing department needs to get with Hoover.
Right? Yes.
Yeah.
We could have a conversation here. Since I think you've been on, we've had a couple new additions to the food hall. So we have what is it, Enrique's?
Enrique's opened up this summer, and he's serving the same great food he did up at 18th and Liberty. Great authentic Mexican food.
I've had that a few times. Yeah.
Wee Corny opened up there more recently. There's family-friendly, affordable foods. They're doing, hot dogs, chips, fried chicken, breaded chicken wings, and they've got street corn, which is pretty good. It's got different taki flavors on it and everything.
So, have you done the street corn thing before? Yeah. I mean, I've never. I
lived in
didn't
Chicago.
Even know anything about it. Yeah.
I lived in Chicago for 15 years. It's like one of the staples when you go to a White Sox game. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
It's pretty. So I was very familiar. I actually met them at Jazz Fest. I was like on EBWS lane there. I had the kids out for the day with the dog, and they had their truck, and there was a line every time I walked by. So I walked up and introduced myself, and here we are. That's kind of how those things happen. And worth noting, we've got a little bit of a crisis with SNAP hitting us right now, and we were able to, because of the generosity of our stakeholders, do a substantial reduction in rent for the month of November for our food hall tenants, who are then going to pass on what they can in those savings to do deals for customers who are feeling the effects of the situation. So as of right now, I think all of them have advertised different deals, discounts that they're going to be doing for people affected by the situation, which, it's nothing that we control or can do anything about, except for doing the best we can with what we have. So we're going to be doing that, and we're looking into the possibility of a partnership with a couple of other local organizations to do a community refrigerator that will allow access to food that for those who may need it. So we hopefully will be able to announce that soon. But trying to step up in a tough time here. We're coming up on the holidays, and this is it's getting colder. It's just kind of, again, this is my editorial comment. It's just maddening that we're having to juggle all these things because somebody didn't do their job, and it just again that's not meant to be partisan. That's just like you are governor. This can be 100% partisan. There are dollars there for this purpose. They're not being used, and and the salt's being rubbed in the wound. And I think we need to call out the people who are doing it, and that's the President of the United States right now.
It's horrible. All right, we got to take a break. It is Drew Whiting here, Talk Erie. Talk Erie and the Joel Natale Show. Drew Whiting is with us here, the CEO of the Erie Downtown Development Corporation, EDDC. Let's talk about Dave's Diner because, again, folks have been living upstairs.
Yeah.
All those apartments are full, right? I mean,
yeah, all those
Fourth
apartments
and
are
Peach.
full.
Or Fifth and Peach.
Fifth and Peach, yeah. Yeah, all of our apartments in general. We occasionally have a couple open, but yeah, that building's been full. We have Dave's coming in there, opening up. It looks like they're going to be doing their trainings this week, soft open over the next week or two, and then we'll have full launch here before Thanksgiving is what we're
just
being
in time
told
to
at the
have
moment.
the open faced turkey with
That's right.
dressing, right?
Yeah, and the soups and everything else he's
Yeah.
got to offer. Dave's excited. Sounds like they've got a great team built, and we can't wait for them to open.
It's massive, isn't it?
It's a
Drew?
huge place, like 2,400 square feet.
How many tops do you think?
The seats it's like 150 seats or something.
Holy
it's
smokes.
a lot of space. I think they're going to be well used, given how many times people have asked me when they're going to open. I grew up every Sunday. Church for me was going to a diner with my grandfather, and it was like the way that I grew up learning what community was and how people got together and had conversations about important things. And so the fact that we haven't really had that downtown for a while now I want it back too. Avanti's is sort of serving that purpose. And then you've got the breakfast place and the original breakfast place and many of the others. I got to know Erie by going to like all the diners and the surrounding towns here. So yeah, having one right down here in our neighborhood, I think it's been a big piece that's missing, and we're really looking forward to Dave opening up. And then
any of the old server? No, I shouldn't say old, but the previous servers.
Yeah, I think it's both. If you ask Dave, like there's a bunch of people who were there forever that are going to be coming back. So
because they said we'll be back.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
incredible.
So yeah, some of the band is being put back together, and they're going to need more people because it's way bigger space than we had before. But yeah, the equipment's firing, and all the inspections have been passed, and the liquor licenses, all the inspections are done. So, they're ready to roll, and I think it's kind of, when you walk in there, it's like an ode to the diner across America. It's got pictures of all the famous diners throughout the states, and it's got the black and white checkered floor and red lighting everywhere. It's really cool.
Well, I mean, again, you think about target audiences and things, and Gannon students need a place to bring their parents. And I mean, it just
there's nobody
to get
that
pancakes. And,
there's nobody that doesn't feel comfortable in a diner.
Right.
It's like the great equalizer. You're getting eggs and your meat, pancakes, and some toast and coffee and. The old gentlemen and ladies, I should say, that will gather talking about local politics will come right back up. He's also like, I think we'll yet to be seen what the hours are going to look like, but I think there's a chance there'll be some weekend late night traffic there where they might stay open for the late night crowd, college students, etc.
Nice.
And we're hoping that in the near future I'm hoping in the next week or so we'll have a lease signed, move forward with construction of the adjacent space, which will take up the rest of that building.
On the Peach Street side?
On the Peach Street side.
Okay.
And, right now our working concept is a German beer hall that will be more of like a college hangout that has large beer selection and picnic tables and be pretty open concept. We've got a combination of Erie and out-of-towners working on that right now with us. So, yeah, excited to get that corner activated over the next couple weeks to 6 months. And it should be from there we're continuing to pound into the soil over here and build the foundation of this new building across the street.
That's a big job. We've got a couple minutes. Let's talk about it again. The Commons, right?
Correct. Yeah. It's a $30+ million project that is meant to tie together everything that we've done so far. And it's...
it's been months and months, and it's all in the ground, all the work.
Yeah. And even before that, it's design, development, fundraising, etc. It's 2 years into the work on this project. Jeez. And all hands on deck effort from our team and the team at BSI and our architects. So Yeah, first quarter of 2027, the building should be done. But yeah, it's been months of getting the foundation done. Like anything you build in Erie, if it's a big structure, when you build on sand, you have to drill into the bedrock for stabilization. So that's what we've had to do. And when we have that done, it'll be another great asset for downtown. It'll be a public pass-through, so you've got this mall arcade that ties in a couple of new retail restaurant spaces and then office space above for hopefully a new business with family-sustaining jobs inside.
Again, this is where we're finally building some Class A office space here.
Yeah. So we've got a couple of interested tenants that would bring pretty solid jobs to downtown, and partnerships with existing local entities that I think will be a great add and be a good fit for the center of our city. We also have an arts organization that's interested in some space, and we're working with the state on getting some of the things that we need to get done for that funded so that we can make it happen. At the end of the day, there will be about 9 sources of capital for this project.
This is a capital stack to the nth degree.
I mean, if that was the only thing I was doing, it would be a full-time job. So it's been a heavy lift, but I'm really excited to see the equipment moving, and we're going to go vertical this winter, and that'll be something people can see and feel, and I can't wait for that.
I got about a minute. Talk about the place that data enters into this decision making, because people think, it's all, they got all this money, so they're just willy-nilly building and renovating.
The reality is we don't have all this money. That's why capital has to come from 9 different sources.
Right.
I
mean, you're doing the research, right?
Yeah, there is. Some of it is research-based. Some of it is looking at other places that have come up the way we have, because the research just isn't available in our ecosystem here. So there is a bit of a, if you build it, they'll come mentality. I mean, there's no research that would have supported 104 market rate apartments being full right now in 5, 6, 7 years ago. And that's where we're at with a wait list. So there is some level of, you just in this scenario, you have to take risk. And you will never dig out of a hole like the one that Erie had put itself in over the last 50 years, being risk averse and relying only on math problems to get things done. You've got to have some imagination. You have to have hope, and you have to have some confidence that you have the people, the resources, and the commitment from stakeholders to get things over the finish line. We're lucky we've had that so far.
Amazing. We're talking to Drew Whiting here. He's with us. Stay tuned for news. It's Talk Erie and the Joel Natale Show. We are back live after this. It's Talk Erie and the Joel Natale Show. We are live from our Kingdom Financial Group studio, also live on YouTube and on Facebook. Drew Whiting is with us here. It is our check-in with the EDDC. And Drew, again, we've seen the big cranes and things over there at the flagship Commons. And you're talking about, it's taken a lot to fund that. And I think it's a good transition into the idea of the CRIZ, because up until now, there has been zero public money involved in these projects, right?
Yeah, no public money, not a single taxpayer dollar in any of these projects to date. So it's been a heavy lift for all of our local stakeholders in the private sector. The money that they invested, the original $28 million that they all invested into the Erie Downtown Equity Fund years ago was spent before I showed up.
Yeah.
And those dollars, I mean, if they ever see a return on that money, it'll be long, long time from now. So those people truly made an investment which was for the future of this community and not for some profit that they expected to get back. So that is puts a lot of pressure on us to make sure that these things go well, because you can't do that for naught. We have been speaking with the governor, with federal government, with the different agencies around town for years about getting the state involved in some of these projects. The CRIZ coming to town offers one of those opportunities. So we have an application in front of them for some funding for this project. The way I view it is that the investment is for this project, but truly it's an investment in the overall effort, because the finishing of this project allows us to realize the potential of the entire effort. So we'll see how that goes. Time.
So what would that look like? Because I thought with the CRIZ you can't get a RAC P, or is
it's
that
not
wrong?
Yeah, the CRIZ, we don't have a RAC P for this building.
Okay,
that's true.
You're not going for that, or
we already went for it. We applied for it in January, I guess it was January of 24.
Before we had a CRIZ.
Before we had a CRIZ, and we received a response that we were getting $0 out of our ask, which was in line with the previous half dozen or so asks in the same vein. So it was not a surprise, but it was definitely disappointing. Mm-hmm. The CRIZ offers the opportunity to make up for some of that, for the state to participate in what has been truly a community effort and a private sector effort here that has not cost the taxpayers anything. In fact, the increase to the city's tax base that's paid in by these businesses in the form of payroll tax, use taxes, etc., property taxes for the increase in the value of all these buildings is massive, and takes a lot of the pressure off of others in the community, because these projects are contributing in a major way to the tax base that pays for plows and street paving and lights and sewer and everything else. So it's good to see the public sector step up. It'll be great to have a willing partner in City Hall here soon, and I think we've got a lot of things going and a lot of the right things lining up so that we'll have a great run here over the next 30 years is the hope, which is the timeline of the CRIZ.
So give the folks an understanding. Again, the flagship Commons won't be done until the first quarter of 2027, right?
Correct. Yep.
So we're still a little bit of ways away. But Erie's one of those. What have you done for me lately? Will you just try to operate your current footprint, or are you always in a buying or acquisition mode?
So the goal is to be opportunistic and to have the resources available when the opportunities arise. So because we were one of the first movers in real estate redevelopment in downtown, when a property comes up before it hits the market, oftentimes we'll get a phone call.
But aren't those usually like really high?
They are
prices now.
When those sellers are maintaining their desire to sell the property for way more than it's worth, nobody bites. There's many examples of that right around our footprint, and I could see two of them right out my window at the moment.
Yep.
And those people are continuing to pay property tax and maintenance on those buildings, and they're going to have to carry it until the price comes into a range of what we'd consider market, and it makes sense, because at this point, we're getting to a stage where some of these deals will just make sense for normal investors in general. What we're also trying to do is be a partner to other developers that see opportunity for themselves.
So it doesn't always have to be EDC to
right.
do it.
We're working right now on putting together the financial apparatus to be able to participate on both the debt and equity sides of those deals when we're maybe not the prime developer, nor would we be the long-term owner or have our name on the building, but we can facilitate the speed with which people can get these deals done and improve our main streets. So we're constantly in coordination, communication with stakeholders around different areas of town and with other developers, both in town and out of town, who are interested in Erie. And there are a lot of those. So in the future, you'll hear more about the role that we're playing there, both as a financial facilitator, and then our interest is in building up this downtown to be a really strong, core, beautiful neighborhood where people want to spend time. So controlling that sidewalk, controlling that ground level, being part of the discussions in City Hall about what we can do to make State Street more pedestrian friendly, and a place where it's not just a highway of cars going 2 lanes ripping down the street. You've actually got like a walkable, beautiful place. And I think we'll start to see more of that here in the next year. The goal is to ensure that as other people who are participants in this move along, if there's a way for us to help them, if it's the Downtown Partnership or our West Bayfront neighborhood, or it's the Port Authority or Convention Center Authority, whoever it is, we want to be a great partner, leverage the resources, the influence, the ability that we have with our stakeholder base to move things forward. So in some ways you're playing a point guard facilitator role in this community going forward, and I think we're set up well to do that.
I don't want to get political on you, but I will. So tomorrow is the municipal election. And tell me, in your opinion, how much of this has happened because of support from City Hall or in spite of a lack of support of City Hall? Is that too direct of a question?
I think you're just trying to get me in trouble, Joel.
I
think I'll say this. I think it took coordination between the early Schember administration and these private sector stakeholders of the EDC to get things moving. They had to be willing to listen and be willing to participate.
But they didn't have 2 nickels to put together.
There's been zero financial contribution. And in some cases, there's more hoops to jump through because it's difficult to work with a resource-strained department,
right.
But leadership in general in City Hall.
I mean, did you feel at any time that any of your building permits were expedited?
No.
Again, I'm not trying to cause trouble here, but this is the kind of stuff that you if you have the wherewithal, you could do. Like,
here's the issue,
hey,
Joel.
You're going to put you at the top of the list.
I think there is a lot that can happen if you have somebody that's proactive, that is engaged, that has command of the issues and knows what the next steps need to be before you have to spoon feed it to them. Okay. That is what we're heading towards, and that's what's really exciting about this next phase. I could say that without any hesitation that whether it was in my capacity here or in my capacity as a private developer, business owner up the street, that we've been missing that.
Yeah. I guess what my point is what should, as the public holds the new administration, whoever it is, accountable, what should the expectation be? Because I know I'm hearing from Governor Shapiro that they want permits to be lickety split.
I want to see active leadership. We just got this CRIZ deal done in town with like almost no involvement in that application process from City Hall. We've got
so like Matt Wachter was working triple time, and you guys.
There's like 5 people in the private sector pushing this thing and dragging everybody with us, and that's not what should be happening. The mayor should be in the front and center of that. We have neighborhood groups around the city that are really working hard to try to do things together. We're doing it on our own. We're getting together at the ED level and trying to push things forward. it would be nice to have some leadership that would be doing that on a regular basis in the community. And you've seen spurts of that, but nothing consistent.
Do we need a department? Do we need economic development?
I don't think you need to layer in bureaucracy,
Okay.
Joel. I think you just need to have ears open, have a command of the issues and the situation on the ground, and to be responsive to that, and to come to the table with some potential solutions, to be the voice for that community in Harrisburg and beyond. That is something that I think we're going to have in spades going forward here. And I think that's going to help us. It's going to be reflected in the ability for us to get things done, to do things according to plans that are organized, that have that where the leadership comes from where it should come from, which is City Hall. And it's not the void of leadership creating a bunch of other people yelling from different directions.
And I want to be clear. I'm not just picking on the mayor here. I think council has a lot to do here, and I don't see it at all.
There's no one place to put blame here, for sure.
It just seems like it's been a lot of heavy lifting from the private and the nonprofit sectors, and we've been dragging the public sector along.
Correct. And I think one of the people that has had the front row seat to that probably has seen areas where that can be fixed because she's worked in that scenario, will have a good place to start from when she's trying to create a new day here.
All right. I apologize to be direct here.
I don't think there's too many people listening to this that don't know where I stand on this, so it's not a big deal.
Drew Whiting is our guest here. I've got just about 6-7 minutes, Drew, and I want you to go down beyond this north of the park because you have investments on 10th and State.
Sure.
Recently we had Mabel Howard here. She's just such an amazing person and just, an absolute force of nature in what she does there at the Cafe 710. Christian from California, stuff is happening. Can you give our listeners a spice of like all of a sudden 10th and State, man, is on fire?
Yeah, and it's really 10th down to 9th too.
Okay.
11th down to 9th. If you look at what Pete Zaffers did up at 12th, even
sure,
value momentum. Matt Orton just bought the building where McCoy's has shared space on the ground floor, and he's going to do a beautiful job with that building. And then Christian, who's bought the Renaissance Center, the Palace Hardware building, the Key Bank building.
Oh, he bought all of those.
Potentially another anchor building here soon.
Okay.
He's doing his part from out of town with, almost 9 figures of capital and total projects there to make sure that area reaches its potential.
And what could that be? I know he wants to do the Trust Hotel, this boutique high-end hotel.
The Trust Hotel is where the Renaissance will take the place of the Renaissance Center. Beautiful, 4 or 5 star operation. It's going to be really an icon in downtown here. Then we have the across kitty corner from that, the old Avalon, which is now the Bowie Apartments by Good Homes out of New York City. That's a $35-ish million development, which has some tenants in there now over the next few months. We're looking to fill that thing up realistically by the end of next year. It's
and it's both affordable and market rate?
It's efficiencies in 1 beds, and it's meant to be workforce housing according to the bond that financed most of it, which means that rents are capped at 60% of AMI for Erie County, which comes out to about $800 to $900 a month for 40% of the units. The rest are market rate. And then going down the line, when you push past 10th down to 9th, or up to 9th and up to 8th, we've had buildings. I think the Rite Aid just closed, so that building will be up for grabs soon.
Oh, wow. Okay.
If you look at the different real estate listings, the Dollar General building, that's for sale.
Thank God.
The PNC building is for sale. So these buildings
Gannon, 9th and State, right?
And if you handle the development of those key anchor buildings in conjunction with policy that says we are not opening up 3 smoke shops within 500 feet of a daycare or within 1,000 feet of each other, and here are the design guidelines for how we treat historic buildings in our downtown because we care, then you start to see a ground level that looks like people care about it, and you start to see a change in the way things look, feel, the traffic that you see around those spots. And that's what we have right outside this window. We want that to be throughout our downtown and our
Do we
neighborhoods.
have the legislation on the books, the ordinances on the books to say, hey, we don't need a bottle shop on your way out from the Warner?
There's a lot of levers that can be pulled, and the reality is a lot of these building owners that are not in town aren't keeping their buildings up to code.
Okay.
And if you're actually enforcing code and doing it in a way that gives people an incentive to get out of these ownership situations when they're not going to be able to fix deferred maintenance issues, when they're going to just rent it to the first comer that's going to throw fluorescent lights and casino machines inside, you can handle a lot of that by creating incentives and disincentives within the current structure that we have. And there are some limitations, but
Sure.
you can at least make the effort. And usually when you do that, the local developers that have the ability to do these things will respond. And that broken windows theory, I mean, if you see broken windows and busted up places and trash on the ground, you're less likely to take care of a place. If you see a place that looks nice, feels nice and safe and well lit, you're going to pick up the piece of trash and throw it in the garbage. You're not going to tolerate somebody, doing what we see in some of these cases up and down State Street. So that's from top to bottom. It has to be a joint effort among the private and public sector to make that work right.
Along those lines, one of the things I asked, folks that are running for mayor is this concept of, can people feel safe downtown? Again, you and your organization have invested tens of millions of dollars. Talk about what needs to still happen.
I think it just from an back up, like global, forget about what we've done.
Yeah.
Like Erie is one of the safest cities of 100,000 people anywhere. And our crime rate is like a third of what it was 5 years ago. Violent crime rate. And this is a safe place to walk around. If you're not comfortable seeing, homeless people every now and then, you're not going to be comfortable in any city anywhere. It's just a reality of the situation. But can things be better? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think Perry Square should feel like, a place that's comfortable for anybody at any time of day because it's sitting right outside the front steps of City Hall and the police department. If they have the tools and if they have the mission to make sure that that's a priority, I think we can get those things done. And that's a way to make this even better than what it is today. And I wasn't here 10 years ago or 20 years ago, but I've been here for about 4 years. I've never felt like unsafe walking around down here. I don't know that my wife would say the same thing.
Yeah, right.
But it's, in general, a fairly safe city to begin with.
I mean, you want people to feel like they can park, go to the ballpark, go to the arena, go to the Warner, go to the club.
I don't think I've ever met anybody that's lived somewhere else at any point in their life say a negative thing about their experience here.
Yeah.
It only comes from people that don't understand what we have.
Yeah, never left the suburbs. But we're going to leave it there. Drew Whiting, I always enjoy our chats. And congratulations on all the openings here. We'll look forward to Dave's here in the next couple weeks, and gotta get over there and get some meatballs from Serafini's. Jeepers.
Looking forward to coming back for our next politics discussion.
Sorry, I'm busting my chops.
No,
Thank you.
I walked you right into that one.
You got it. Take it easy.